It's almost the weekend and we need it. Oh, yes. After a nonstop week of midterm election coverage, the big question now is how do we actually unwind and reset? Joining us is psychologist Yeng Gatchalian. It's a beautiful day. Prof. Yeng, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here in person.
Yes, finally. Prof. Yeng, you know what? You being here with us today is so timely because Monique and I, ewan ko kay Paolo, wag natin siya sama. We've been talking about how this week has been so exhausting. We started with the two-day coverage, which already felt like the entire week packed into 2 days. Yeah. And then 3 days of work again, and talagang nakakapagod. So, let's talk about how we reset, how we de-stress. What are the science-backed ways to unwind after an intense work event?
Yes, everybody I think is feeling it, no? But you don't look like you're exhausted.
Ay, thank you, Prof.
Ang ganda-ganda
Si
niyo
Paolo
parang-
lang na mukhang pagod. But yes, Prof. Yeng, thank you.
Lahat tayo, no? Everybody's feeling that, especially yung anticipation, and now we have the answer. And still, some people are still frustrated, some are very happy. So mixed emotions. So these mixed emotions actually are not. Sometimes they're healthy, sometimes they're not. But first thing is you need to recognize, what am I feeling? No, you need to recognize that. And then, lagi kong tinitignan dyan yung word na arm. No, arms. That acronym says A, first acknowledge, what am I experiencing? What am I feeling? And then you recognize it. I feel bad, or I feel good, or I don't know what I'm feeling. That's recognition also. So when you recognize it, whether it's negative or positive, that's good for you because you have the recognition and then you would know what to do. The third letter is manage. So once you recognize it, how am I going to manage it? Who are the people that I need to talk to? What am I going to do next? So dyan pumapasok yung mga creating resilient habits, go back to your usual routine because the past few months have not been very well for you kasi that was not your script. Because we have to remember that like here in the show, you have your script. You have something to follow. You're used to it. So when you get out of your script or your schema, that's what we call it in psychology. When you get out of it, that's when you feel stressed. Because this is something new. Right. I'm not used to this. So during the time of election, that was a different script. It's not your usual broadcasting day. It's not your usual night out. Kasi you need to work pa, di ba? Now, you need to go back to your script kasi you're ending another script. And then you need to form another habit or maybe go back to the old one that you got used to. So yun yung management. Dito papasok yung matutulog ka na ulit, no? Or you do micro breaks or mindful transitions para hindi naman bigla yung pagbalik mo dun sa mga old scripts mo. And then the fourth one, most effective, salamat. That's S. You need to appreciate. For example, ay salamat, nanalo yung kandidato ko. Yung iba, hindi, but at least may nanalo, di ba? Appreciating that you did well. Because when you appreciate what you've done, it's a very, very good self-care.
Now, Profi, I know it's not just us who's feeling like the stress and burnout of life. Not just the election coverages, but everybody's tired, right?
Yeah.
Especially this Q2, I feel like a lot has been happening, and I felt like it was just January last month, and now it's almost mid-May, which is crazy. Is there a difference when we talk about resting and resetting? Is there a difference with the two? And if so, what distinguishes that difference?
Okay, resting is taking a break. Resting is giving your body and your mind rest. Resetting is taking another step to change and to maybe when you have rejuvenated, that's reset. So after resting, you're resetting. Kasi resting, marami kasing resting eh. Like you rest because you avoid. Or you rest because you really need to have a genuine restoration. Resting to prepare for another day. Resting to have another restoration. Pero meron din kasing resting to avoid eh. Tutulog lang ako. Ayokong lumabas. I withdraw. They call that rest, but actually it's not resting.
What is that?
That's avoidance.
Oh.
Sometimes you avoid to talk to people. I don't want to talk to this person. Why? Because I don't want to talk about negative things. That's toxic positivity. When you avoid things, when you avoid to face your issues, when you avoid to talk about negative things, that's toxic positivity because you're not facing reality.
So when you reach that point of avoidance, is that already similar to burnout?
Sometimes it is similar to burnout. Burnout is the result of not having good and correct way to rest and reset. Burnout is when you are already fatigued on doing so many things, and then there's no recognition, there's no management, and then you will feel burnout. Ang result nun, you will withdraw from people, sometimes you will hate your job, papunta ka pa lang dito, naiinis ka na, and then you don't feel motivated to do it.
Prof, you know, what I love about this segment is that this is actually therapy for the entire Billionaire News channel.
I know.
Lahat sila nakikinig ngayon. And they're like, oo, tama yan, tama yan. But Prof, I find that so interesting that, you know, you have to differentiate between basically recovering and avoiding. And but then at the same time, some people feel na, okay, pwede na to. That's enough for me to get back on the grind. When are you ready to go back? What are the signs that you're ready to get back into the grind, put yourself under a degree of stress again?
Yeah, actually, wala naman talagang fit it all. It doesn't, I mean, like, Paolo can go back tomorrow, diba? Or you can go back next week. Iba-iba yun, depending on the gravity of what you've gone through. The severity of the toxicity, no, nung pinagdaanan mo, nung ginawa mo. But you will somehow feel it in your body. You need to relax. You need to talk to your body. May masakit pa ba sa katawan ko? Sabi nga ni Master kanina, di ba? See your doctor.
Yes.
No kidding.
She was listening.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
So you know that something's wrong with your body. I need to see a doctor kasi that will also somehow rest your mind. What is this that I am experiencing right now? Kasi yung deny ka ng deny, that's avoidance. I will not go, I will not go there. Medyo guilty rin ako doon actually. Pero ganun yun eh. You need to go and face it. Kasi when you go and face it, that gives you confidence. It's when you know. Because sometimes it's anticipation that's difficult eh.
Yeah.
When you don't know what's happening.
But I feel like sometimes the hard part too, Profi, is when everybody has a different threshold, right? So like, for example, the election coverage, some people may be exhausted, some people may not. So for those that are exhausted, how do they communicate that they're tired and that they need rest without the other party or like judging them or seeming unprofessional?
First, avoid blaming. Nakapagod kasi itong trabahong to eh. Yung ganon, di ba? Sometimes we do that. But you have to remember, your work is your work and that's your bread and butter. So if you blame it on your work, magsisimula ka magkaroon ng negative views about it and that's not healthy.
Yeah.
You need to focus on what you are experiencing. I am tired right now, I need to focus on this. No?
Profi, sorry, I want to jump in on that because you mentioned I'm tired right now, I want to focus on this. It's exactly how we all feel. When we look at, we actually had a conversation a while ago that you actually have certain methods that you want to show us when it comes to relaxing and addressing those problems in particular. So using Mo as an example, how would you suggest for her to be able
I think
to relax?
Profi will show us a demo.
All of us.
Yeah.
Right
'Cause we're
now,
all of
na?
us. Yeah, maybe all of us.
You want to dance?
Anne loves to dance.
Anne will do
Anne
that,
loves to
but-
dance.
That's why hindi ako prepared. Hindi ako nag-practice.
Yeah,
but
we
okay.
will do progressive muscle relaxation.
Okay.
First, we need to remember that sometimes we deny what our body experiences.
Right.
Sometimes you already feel that pain in your buttock or the tension in your muscles, but you deny it. You don't recognize it. So it's time for you to go back to your body. Kanina you mentioned anxiety, di ba?
Yeah.
Anxiety is thinking of things that have not happened yet. So lumalabas ka doon sa reality.
Yeah.
So you need to go back to it by maintaining your senses. So progressive muscle relaxation is recognizing that your muscle is already tired. Okay? So you do it like, think of a lemon. You're squeezing a lemon. You're squeezing it,
hands.
not so hard. And then imagine the juice coming out of the lemon. So not too tight. There's the juice. It feels so good. And then you feel your muscles tensing a bit. And then you let go. Let go of the lemon. What do you feel? And then you can do it again. That's good, Mo. You do that.
Yeah, and it feels good after
Yes. And then you can do it again. But then you will feel that your muscles are tensing. And then when you let go of it, it feels so relaxed.
Yeah.
The goal is to bring your mind back to your body.
How many times do you recommend doing this?
Depends. If you're okay on the third round, then that's good. And then another way is close your eyes and then breathe. You do the square breathing. Inhale 4 seconds. Pause for 4 seconds. And then exhale 4 seconds. And then pause. And then think of a place that you feel relaxed. A favorite place. Think of it right now. You can smile. You feel the breeze. It's so good. It's so good. And you can always go back to it. You can use that as a micro break or a mindful transition. Think of yourself now as relaxed, and then your body also feels so relaxed. And then you can just move a little, be gentle. All right, and then count 1 to 5 so we can go back here and open our eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wow.
I'm so sleepy. I was imagining my
needed that.
bed.
Same!
Direct was like smiles. Imagine your favorite place. I'm like, Direct, I'm sleeping.
I imagined my bed with my dog there, and then when you said you feel the breeze, I feel the aircon.
I know,
I couldn't really fully get into it kasi in my head, I was like, wait, I'm still on TV. But at the same time, sign yun that I gotta, kailangan may
He
release
needs
to
to relax.
afterwards.
Yeah, he's
Relax.
thinking too much.
Actually, that was a very short
Yeah.
way of doing it. In class, when I was doing my hypnotherapy class with Father Bulato, he's my professor in Ateneo. We would do that in class and we feel so relaxed. And that's part of hypnotherapy actually, when you make yourself believe that you are in a good place, when you make yourself believe that you can do things, that you are okay. So you do positive talk, self-talk to yourself. Remember that what goes in your mind is what goes in your body.
Profi,
It's all about mindset.
we really appreciate you for this therapy kasi I can guarantee you, pati yung mga cameraman naman they went to
They
their happy
followed,
place.
yeah, they
Oh, and
followed
see
that.
Direct as well. But of course, before we wrap this up, congratulations to the Perpetual Health Medical Center Las Piñas, which won at the Healthcare Asia Awards this year. Of course, congratulations on that award. We cannot wait to hear more about it soon. Unfortunately, we are running out of time. So hopefully,
Thank you, Profi.
we need
Thank
this.
you so
needed
much. We
this.
needed that.
We need this more than you realize. But thank you so much for joining us. She's psychologist, Ms. Yeng Gatchalian. Maraming
Thank
salamat
you.
po.
Maraming
Thank you,
salamat.
Profi.
Thank you. Do that.
Yes, 100%.
We will.
Well, that is it for